Okay, so what we're going to look at right now is a level 7 NPC, and what we're going to do is we're going to go and attack the NPC as a plunder to be able to gain experience for our officer and also gain reputation so that we can level up our position, so we can get more cities, so we can become more powerful. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring a lot of SPGs, because this city has, and all NPC cities have the same amount in them as far as that I've seen. But this NPC city has a lot of airplanes and bombers, and the best thing to kill those with are the SPGs. And for a level 7 city, you can take from 6 to 8,000 SPGs depending on how good your firepower is and how good basically your techs overall. We're also going to bring some rockets, and that's to kill the mobilized units that are going to be coming at us. And we're not going to even let them get close to our ranged units. So I'm going to bring here 100 heavy tanks, and the reason I'm going to do that is because they're going to offer blockage if the enemy happens to do an overwhelming attack. And if you look inside of your attack reports, you'll see that oftentimes bombers and really high numbers of ranged attackers will do overwhelming attacks. I'm bringing one of every other unit that I have available. I don't have planes yet. I do have bombers and scouts, and these are key in being able to do this. And then we're going to choose a good officer that has a good military, and we're going to dispatch them, and they will arrive in just a moment, and we'll take a look at the battle. Also, what I want to show you here for a second is in the military section. If you look at the technologies that I've leveled up firepower to level 7, and that is given a really good offensive attack. So that's one of the reasons that my ranged units can do so much damage to these NPC units. Also, we have fuel engine technology, which is fuel engine technology actually impacts how far our units will move on the battlefield, and we want our units to move as far as possible because we can get into attacks faster. So fuel engine technology is really important. The other one that's really important is ballistics, because ballistics, we're using ranged units a lot, and our rockets are going to be hitting those tanks that are coming our way, and the farther out that we can start hitting them, the better off we are. Also, we need to range more than the enemy's ranged units. If his rockets hit my rockets first, that'll dispel disaster for my units. So ballistics is very important, and you'll notice I have all 3 of those to level 7. Armor comes into effect if you're getting an overwhelming attack. That, you know, it'll help you out a lot, and you need it to get those heavy tanks to block with. I do recommend that you use the blockers. I've done this without any blocking before, with like heavy tanks up to 100 units. Just with the solo 1-1-1 unit at each time. Also, officers, you would like to use a really good military officer at first until you get enough units, and when you get enough SPGs and rockets to where you can actually use a low military politics, you can hit that NPC with a politician with a whole bunch of units and start leveling up his politics more and more. The higher officer's politics is, the better off you're going to be as far as resources go. You're going to have a lot more resources, making a lot more resources each hour if the officer in your city, the mayor, has a very high politics score. So you want to level that up, and you want to level your officers up. See, I can upgrade my officer right now, my mayor, and we'll just add another politics score to him. The reason he's getting experience right now is because he's building stuff in the city, and military units are building there, and that helps get his get him experience so that you can level the politics up. Okay, so we're starting the battle now, and the first thing you'll notice is that my scout will move straight forward. I will go ahead and change my rockets because I know that I want them to kill motorized infantry first. For the SPGs, I'll go ahead and set them on killing bombers because that's what they'll be killing first. The scout is going to move over, and he's going to attack these infantrymen before anything else happens in the battle. And that means once my enemy moves, he has to move his fighter up to kill my scout, and that keeps his fighter from moving. So now we need to stand by on our bombers, our trucks, and our motorized units so that we can keep them as blockers when the bombers are coming over. So we'll let those stay, and we'll let the next round move forward. All of my other units will continue to move forward, and all the fire is being focused on the bombers, and the motorized infantry is where the rockets are hitting right now. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and stop the armor cars. Our light tanks will stop. Our heavy tanks will stop. And then the bombers will stop, and also the rockets will stop. And the reason this is because we just want to set up our blockers. We don't want to get too awful close. Our SPGs are going to continue to hit the bombers, and the rockets are now going to change over to the light tanks. I'm not worried about the fighters yet, and sometimes I'll get a massive hit that helps me kill the fighters off at the same time. Now, the next round, we're going to hit the fighters. We're going to change over since the bombers are now dead. We're going to move our heavy tanks backwards, and we will go ahead and move our ranged units backwards, so that we can allow these units up here that are just solely blockers to continue to block. And this next round, the light tanks will die, and the fighters will also almost be killed off. Next round they will be. So now we'll just hold everything where it is, change over the rockets to heavy tanks, because the light tanks are only 10 left. We don't want to waste our ranged. The SPGs will stand by, and they're going to go for the fighters still. They'll still be killing fighters. The heavy tanks will also stand by, and they'll just work as a blocker from here on out. And the truck infantry and AC that's left, they'll from here on out, there's no chance. We'll just change over to heavy tanks, except the rockets. The rockets will kill rockets. This is what I'm talking about when you know that you don't want the enemy to have longer range than you, because if he does, he'll start killing off your units with his range before you can kill his ranged off. So you've got to make sure that you have a longer range, and this comes very important in other parts of the game as well. Now, at this point in the battle, you can either move your units forward. This will help you out since there's almost nothing left. Next round I'll be killing the SPGs before they get to move, and there's no reason not to just move forward so you can get your SPGs into range of the armored cars and the infantrymen so that we can kill them off. And you'll see after the next round most of the units will disappear. There's 71 AC and just a few infantrymen left. So this is the end of the battle. You can stop everything, kill the ACs with your SPGs, and kill the infantry with your rockets. Now I want you to notice on the battle report here how each time after we blocked the fighter planes, each time you'll see that the rockets are going to hit the bombers even though we have the motorized infantry selected, because the motorized infantry were not in range of the rockets yet. So it'll just hit the closest thing that's to it. So it's important to be targeting the different land units with your rockets at the same time that you're fighting. That way you know that you're going to get a hit on the planes no matter what, but you're also getting your full attack going as soon as a target is in range. And okay, so here's what we gained from the NPC attack. Plunder report. We don't get any resources. We lost 22 heavy tanks, and most of that came from moving the heavy tanks forward on the second round. If you can keep the heavy tank defending on the first round, you just put it in defense after it moves up once. That'll just keep those 22 from coming through. But it's still not bad. We lost 22 units and we gained 4,244 reputation and 10,754 officer experience. Okay, that's it. Thank you.